the West Coast's premier podcast network.
Hi, this is Mama G. I have my PhD in parental household discipline. Whatever you have in your household, I probably raised it, taught it, loved it, spanked it, punished it, and definitely prayed over it.
The West Coast's premier podcast network.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Well, tonight is a special night. We have lost another one in the community. Cicely Tyson died this week. She was 96 years old. She was born December the 19th, 1924. She transitioned January 28th, 21. That's 96 years old. Let's read something about her. She was born in East Harlem, the daughter of Frederica Huggins, who was a domestic worker, and William Augustine Tyson, who worked as a carpenter and a painter. She was one of three children. Her parents were immigrants from West Indies. Her father arrived in New York at the age of 21 and was processed at Ellis Island in New York, August the 4th, 1919. She grew up in a religious atmosphere. She sang in the choir, attended prayer meetings at the Episcopal Church in East Harlem. Tyson's mother was opposed to her being an actress and wouldn't speak to her for a long time. She changed her mind once she saw Cicely Tyson appear. Now we'll listen to her last interview that she did with Ryan and Kelly.
Our next guest has 3 Emmys, a Tony Award, an honorary Oscar, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She is the legendary Cicely Tyson. Welcome to the show, Miss Tyson.
Ms. Tyson, you are a true New Yorker, born and raised
Yes.
right here in New York City. A stranger made a prediction about you as a baby, right? When you were a baby?
Yes. My mother was pushing me in a baby carriage, and this woman stopped her and started playing with me and turned to my mother and said, "Take care of this child. She has a sixth sense.
Wow.
She's going to make you very proud one day, and she will take care of you in your old age."
That is remarkable. You know, Kelly and I were texting each other while reading your book, and it is gripping from the very beginning. And I was surprised to learn that you were a shy child. When you were little, you were shy.
As a child, I was very shy. I sucked this thumb for 12 years. I was an observer. I would sit at the table and observe everything that was said and or done. And so I listened and I learned why people said and did the things that they did.
Ms. Tyson, that probably is one of the many reasons why you are an extreme.
And she spoke. And then the next day, she transitioned to see Jesus. Isn't that amazing? She did her last interview. And then that next day, she closed her eyes. Well, Cicely Tyson was a busy woman. Do you know her first part she did was in 1956? She did plays in the early 60s. She appeared in the original cast of French playwright Jean Genet, The Blacks. And she played this playwright with Maya Angelou, James Earl Jones, Godfrey Cambridge, Louis Gossett, and Charles Gilmore. Tyson also worked for social services and agency was spotted by David Sustan, but she became a model for Ebony magazine at an early age. In 1972, Tyson played the role of Rebecca Morgan in the film Sounder. She was nominated for both an Academy Award and a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress for her work in Sounder. In 1974, she played a role on television film, The Autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. I remember that. She was excellent in that role. Miss Pittman lived a century and she had stories from the 1900s, the end of slavery, till the day she died. And Miss Tyson played her magnificently. So we've lost another hero in the community. One thing I know about Miss Tyson, she did not play any roles that was negative for black women. She refused to. She only played positive roles, roles that showed us being strong. And I admire her for that. She didn't take the stereotype roles that they were wanting black actors to do in the 60s and 70s. She refused to do them. She was an active part in civil rights. She even was married to the jazz artist Miles Davis. She also had a daughter. She lived a long life. Her favorite statement is know what you're worth. Ladies and gentlemen, please teach your children that they are worth everything. They are a human being that God has put on this earth to be magnificent, to be a leader in anything and everything that they want to do. And Miss Tyson was a perfect example of that. She held her head up high. She refused to belittle herself in any role. That is magnificent. That is magnificent. She knew that she had a purpose. She knew that she had to be an example for the other actors and open the doors for other people to walk through. That's wonderful for her to do that. She has left a chest full of learning lessons, memories, films for us to look at and admire. My favorite part that she did was in Medea's family reunion, where she told the family at the family reunion, love your brothers and your uncles and your relatives, hug them, call them when you need them. Don't disrespect your relatives. Love them for who they are. Teach them. Be a role model. I love that part. I love that part because at the family reunion, those young people were just not being respectful to each other. So she gathered everybody around to look at the old relative that was there at the family reunion. And so she told everybody to love each other. That's my favorite part that I saw that Miss Tyson did for me. So I took that and now I tell my grandchildren that you have to love and respect everybody that you see, especially in your family, because you never know. You may need them. So love them, respect them. But Cicely Tyson was just a marvelous lady. I think her last television appearance that we saw and she spoke was at Aretha Franklin's services. And everybody stood in the audience because she was there and speaking. This lady is what we all should strive for, to walk circumstantially with our head up, shoulders back. Tell the world that we are God's creation. We are beautiful. He made us to be beautiful, to have purpose. And don't be afraid of your purpose. If you and God have discussed what you're supposed to do, don't be afraid of it. Do it. With His help, you will be successful. I'm a perfect example. I never thought I would have a show, but I have one. It's only by the grace of God because I did everything He told me to do. Yes, sometimes I didn't do exactly everything right, but majority of the time I did. And then when I didn't do what was right, He forgave me and gave me another chance to do it right. So that's what we have to do, ladies. We have to remember we're here to build a legacy that we're going to live that we're going to leave on this earth and they're going to take over. So it's our responsibility to teach our children the right way to live according to His purpose, His will. And if we are in tune to what He wants us to do, we'll have a blessed life. We will. There might be some storms, but we will have a good life. Because this life is not a rose garden. It has thorns, it has weeds, but with God's help, we'll pluck out those thorns, cut those weeds down, and walk through the path that He wants us to walk through. Now, later on in the show, we're going to have a Super Bowl party, I should say. Well, pre-Super Bowl party, because we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, the history of the Super Bowl, who was the first black quarterback who did the Super Bowl, who was the first black player that the NFL hired. So, because tomorrow is Black History, so we're going to start off with the Black history of the Super Bowl. How about that? But remember, say a prayer for Cicely Tyson's family. We understand she had a daughter. So let's pray for her daughter and the rest of her family, because we know when we lose someone that we love, it is a hole. It is a heartbreak to our heart. It opens a hole. But with God's strength and love, He will fill it soon. Your joy will come in the morning, but we don't know when. But God will give you that joy. So let's pray for the family of Miss Tyson, because bearing somebody of that nature is hard, but we have to do it. Remember, we all have to sing one day, and we want to make sure that we've done everything we can to do so He can smile and say, well done. And I think He's done that to Miss Tyson. She lived to be 96, almost a century. I would love to sit under her and ask her questions and just listen to some of her experiences and things she saw in her lifespan. I bet that's wonderful. By the way, she does have a book out. She does have a book out. So we need to read that book. So go to Barnes and Noble or go on your computer and find out what her latest book was. She did write a book right before she left us. That is wonderful that she left a book of her thoughts for us to read and learn from her. That is just wonderful. Well, I think it's time for our first break. Well, 7:24. I'm 2 minutes early. So we're going to have an exciting second half of Ask Mama G. So look for it, and we'll see you soon.
Tune Radio, where the world tunes in. The West Coast's premier podcast network.
Hi, this is Mama G. I have my PhD in parental household discipline. Whatever you have in your household, I probably raised it, taught it, loved it, spanked it, punished it, and definitely prayed over it.
The West Coast's premier podcast network.
Instincts going low, looking bad like a bat with an eye patch. All black through the woods with a backpack and a lit match. Spark one time, get the whole city looking like a dark shade of orange when I burn it down. What it is, what it do, hope And everybody looking at me while I got them all in my sights. Picking them off, taking them out, looking like daylight in the night. And I'm killing so many if they really want to get involved. And everybody falling from the elevator, now I'm Bray Rice in this. It's like I'm rice and take a bite, it's nice. And I have a nice time with it. By the time that it finds the way to the right side of him, not even a Heimlich can save him. A selective finger to you imbeciles. Tell me what's been getting into you, envy will kill you. She said I'm a gentleman, I admit a lot of women set up on my ottoman. I don't give a damn like an auto with no time to kill. I'm a feeling like the opposite of work, it's a work. And I've never been a purpose thing to me. I just do what I love and it works for me. So I'm freaking every check and put the money in the pushing. Ready to be gunning to the finish and the getting of it. But everybody know I'm working in the sea. I do it differently. So only time will give me everything that I deserve. My it.
Hi, I'm Ryan. This is my car. Do you like it? Great. We'll get to that. Trust the process. You see, I've been going back and forth with myself, and I've decided it's for sale! Sale! No, it is not! Yes, it is. See what I mean? I don't need it, but I want it. You're probably wondering what's wrong with it. I don't know. It cost me a lot to get it running, so hopefully nothing. All I'm asking is a cool 5K. Allow myself to tell you the details.
I just want to live forever. I just want my shit together. I just want my abs to show. I just want to eat whatever. I just want to hit the road. I just want the perfect weather.
And look at this finish. All original. Nothing says I love the US of A like lead paint, baby.
Hi, I'm Chris.
World Tune Radio, where the world tunes in. The West Coast's premier podcast network.
Hi, this is Mama G. I have my PhD in parental household discipline. Whatever you have in your household, I probably raised it, taught it, loved it, spanked it, punished it, and definitely prayed over it.
The West Coast's premier podcast network. World Tune Radio, where the world tunes in. The West Coast's premier podcast network.
Hello, everyone. Look, I'm back with my Super Bowl party table. On February the 7th, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be at home watching the football game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buccaneers. And so I have on my son's old jersey because I'm going to be neutral. Whoever wins is that's going to be it. So I won't say who I want to win, but you know me, I'm a history buff. So I want the best quarterback in my mind to win. But do you know there was a black quarterback who won the Super Bowl? Doug Williams won the Super Bowl. He played the Super Bowl and he won it. Isn't that something? He was the first black quarterback to play in the Super Bowl, and Denver was favored in the game. They started off strong, but the star quarterback John Elway thought he had it in the bag, but he didn't. Doug Williams was born in 1955, and he got hurt in that game, and he had a second win, and he won the game for the Redskins. And everybody was stunned when he won. Everybody was stunned that he had won that game. So it wasn't Warren Moon went to the Super Bowl, but he didn't win it. Doug Williams was the first African American quarterback to win the game. And they were just amazed of that. They were just amazed of that. I mean, the whole United States was just shocked that he had won the game. They were just shocked. Everybody just couldn't believe it that this man in 1988 won the Super Bowl. It was the game around the world when he won. And then after that, he became a coach for Grambling College. It's an African American college in Louisiana. So he has led a good life. But Sunday, we have a younger quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, who is the reigning champion of the Super Bowl, who's going to play against Tom Brady. Do you know the first time an African American played in the in football period was in 1949? The first African American athlete to play in the NFL was 1949. And now we have so many African American young men. But I am concerned about that because, yes, they're good in playing football, but what about their morals? You still hear the football players beating up women, don't know how to control themselves. They have babies out of wedlock. So I want a football player to have good morals, know what they're doing, give back to the community, and don't have a bad life out of football. That would be wonderful. And these young men, let's pray for them because everybody's giving them a lot of money and they want to do everything they can. But they have to realize that there's a lot of people looking at them. A lot of people are looking at them. So they have to be conscious of that. They have to be conscious of how they speak, their attitude. In fact, sidebar for a minute, I got haters. Did you know that? My producers are like surprised and happy because that means that people are really listening to my show. I had two haters. One who said that there's no God because look at all the havoc that we're having in the world. And if there was a loving God, why is there havoc? Well, I don't have the complete answer to that. All I know is if you pray and follow him, he'll help you through your havoc. He'll help you get to the other side of your havoc, of your trouble. And then I have to pray for my other hater because they're having a problem of identity. They think they think of another gender, but they have a body of another gender. And so I told them that God was not an author of confusion. He made you one way and he wants you to stay that one way. So the hater said, well, you believe what you want to believe. And I'm going to do what makes me feel good. Well, the flesh can get you in a lot of trouble. You have to live according to his will. That's the only way mama knows how to say it. Because that's the only way my children were successful, is because we did it God's way. I raised them God's way and they are successful. Now when they did it their way, they had some pitfalls. But when they did it God's way, they were blessed. So if you want to go work on your flesh, live to your feeling, then don't cry when you have your pitfalls. Don't cry when things are not right for you. You have to realize that God has made a plan for your life and just follow it. But look at my table. Look at my Super Bowl table. We got chips, we got dip, we got potato salad, we got wings and rolls and barbecue sauce and soda and even Gatorade. So, ladies, feed your family well. And if you got to do some errands, once their tummy is full, they won't miss you that much. We got to go do some errands. I won't say where you're going to go, but I remember I used to feed my husband and go window shopping, and then I come back, and he never missed me because he had a table full of his favorite food, and he was watching his favorite game, and everybody was happy. But so you have a wonderful time Sunday, February 7th. And I pray to God that the halftime is going to be nice. I hope it's family oriented because some of the halftime shows have not been very family oriented. They've shown too much and they haven't covered a lot. So I hope this year, when they realize that this is a family event, we got kids watching football halftime, they'll calm it down a little bit. They'll make sure that it's family oriented so everybody can have a good time and let the best team win. Now, this is going to be a historic game because this is the first time a team is hosting the game on their field. So the Buccaneers are hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know a lot of people think that time can do no wrong and have a wonderful game Sunday. But let them play the game. Don't try to predict who's going to win. Let's see who's going to win that game. But have a nice spread like we got here. We got wings, rolls, potato salad, chips, salsa, cheese dip. We're going to have a good time Sunday. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to have a wonderful time February the 7th. Have an exciting time because I know I am. Look at that food. I'm ready to eat this food now. But we just thought that we would show you our little spread that we're going to have on the 7th. I spoil my producers. And we even have a Mama G hat on the table. So if anybody would like to buy a Mama G hat to support our podcast, please do so. And they're only $15. But if you buy a mask and a hat, you get both of them for $20. So let's do that. And the merchandise that you can mail the merchandise to the Rory Graham Jr. Foundation, P.O. Box 4306, Oceanside, California, 92052. And we'll send it out to you right away. We'll send everything off to you right away. But this football game is going to be exciting. It has to be. I've been told that it might break the record of viewing a football game. It might break the television viewing of a game. But we just have to be patient of who's going to win this game. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting because Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball, run the ball. Tom Brady is a very precise thrower. He can throw it all day long as that as long as the offensive line protects him, he can make touchdowns. So it could be a very close game. But remember, we have some history. The first NFL player was hired in 1949. The first quarterback to win the Super Bowl was 1988. Doug Williams beat John Elway and the Denver Broncos. And I remember that game. Everybody thought that John Elway was just going to beat the Redskins to no end. And it was just, and then when Doug Williams got hurt, we were praying that he come back. He came back in the game limping, but he threw that ball, made those touchdowns, and we were just happy. We were just happy. And then Russell Wilson won for the Seahawks. So we've had some young men come along and win the Super Bowl. We've had them. And in February, on the 21st, we're going to have an exciting guest, Willie Buchanan, an ex-football player from Oceanside. He will be here because we're doing a history of Oceanside. And the Buchanan family was a very important part of Oceanside. Their Mr. Willie Buchanan's father, Mance Buchanan, was the pastor and founder of Shiloh Church of God in Christ. He worked for the school district. He has a library named after him. He even have a park named after him. His mother, Ethel Buchanan, was the first African American young lady to graduate from Oceanside High School. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to have Mr. Buchanan here to talk about the history of Oceanside and how their family was a important part of during the foundation of the history of Oceanside. This family did a lot for the community of Oceanside. So we want to have him as a guest next month in the studio. That's going to be an exciting show. Please email me. Did you know I have a new email address? It's askmamaG.phd@gmail.com. Send me your comments, your questions, any ideas for different shows. I want to hear from you because it's only by you, by your participation, your following that I have my show, and I'm grateful for that. I am so grateful for that. So please email me. Tell me what you think of the show. I take good constructive criticism. I even take haters. So please just let me know how am I doing? What am I doing? It's just wonderful to have the show. AskMamaG.PhD@gmail.com. I'm sure that we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We also have birthdays this month. Mr. James Greer, William Michael G., Jennifer Robertson Smith, Courtney N., Brittany Renee Gonzalez, Debbie Thompson, Simone Slater, and Isaac Livingston Sr. Happy birthday to you guys. I know that God has blessed you to have another wonderful year. Hopefully, you'll stay safe and healthy. Earlier today, my producer filmed me with my mask on. So I do wear my mask. In fact, now I'm wearing two masks because I don't want to get sick. And there's some silly people out there. The governor has allowed outdoor eating and he lifted the stay at home ban. And so there are some people out there who are not wearing their masks. And I saw them the other day. So I went and got two masks. I got my blue one and my Mama G mask. And I wear those all the time because we do not want to take this for granted. This disease it's not one that says, "Oh, I'm not going to give it to her today. Oh, I'm going to give it to this person." No, it has no respecter of color, race, or gender. It'll touch anybody. It will give it to anybody. And next thing you know, you're in the hospital. No one can come see you. So please wear your mask. We have to wear a mask. Also, we're still looking for those film about Black Lives Matter festival. It's we're looking for those young people who have experienced those racial episodes, and you can send them to a freewayfilm.com Black Lives Matter Festival, I believe. But film film festival. I'm sorry. It's the Black Lives Matter Film Festival, and it's freewayfilm.com/Black Lives Matter. I believe. I'm not sure, but we'll put it up later for you during the week. But they're looking for those films where you've had some racial bias happen to you. It doesn't have to be a great production, just a story of the injustice that you've had being Black. And they want to show the different aspects and stories of being Black in America. So please, we're going to find the correct email address for that and we'll send it out. I promise we will. But it's going to be an educational film festival. So we're just going to have a wonderful time. Now remember, go to the library if you can and see the displays that they have for Black History this month. We only have 28 days. Isn't that something how America gives us the shortest month of the year to celebrate our history? Now, the reason why we had it because we weren't included in the books in our school. We were not included in that. So Congress had to ratify a holiday for us. First, it was just a week. And then as time passed, it got longer to where we have 28 days. We have the shortest month for all this beautiful history to be taught. Isn't that wonderful, America? We have 28 days to tell America, tell the rest of America that we are important, that we survive. We've built things. We've invented things that we use every day. We invented the signal light that we use when we drive our cars. An African American contribute his knowledge to build that. So we have contributed to the United States of America, and we are thriving every day. Because look, the COVID vaccine. We have a young lady, Dr. Colbert, who patented the vaccine. She's African American. She's from North Carolina. So they can't tell us that we don't matter. We do matter. Black history matters. Everything about us matters. We help build this country. So yes, Black history is important. That's why I play the Black national anthem every time I'm on the air, because these young people, they know about rap music, they know about the rappers, they know about Carly B and those other rappers. I guess I shouldn't say their names because I'm giving them advertisement, but you know who they are. But do they know about about the Black national anthem? Who wrote it? Why it was written? What's the meaning behind it? No, but it's our responsibility to teach you, and that's what has been laid on my heart, to teach what we don't know, and we need to do that. We need to teach our young people so they can be better adults when they get older. We have to teach them what they need to know, how to strive, how to be productive citizens. And in fact, I'm going to ask my producer one day if I can invite young mothers and young men who are fathers to give them sure way. It's not book science. It's common sense to raise good, decent young people. Hopefully my producers will say yes, and we'll have a class for young parents. I want to do that. I think that would be wonderful to do if we could do that. So go on the internet, look up the National Advancement for Colored People, and see what they're doing this month. I know that there's a poetry reading that's going to be online. It's going to be a virtual poetry reading one day a week, but you have to go online to check it out. I read about it before I came. So there are going to, even though we can't gather, there are going to be some virtual things that we can do to lift each other up, to inspire each other. This is an important month. And see, I'm still wearing my pearls because we have to give honor to our vice president. She's doing a wonderful job. She is being the backbone to help the president. She is in the Congress. She's presiding over the Congress and the Senate. So she's doing her job, and we're going to pray for her to continue to do her job. We have to. We have to pray that God will bring us back together as one country, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody needs to have a right to live a good, decent life according to the law of the land. Everybody has that right to do that. I believe that. And with God's help, if you do it His way, you'll have a wonderful, tremendous, blessed life. You'll have some bumps in the road, but He'll be there to gather you and help you through it. but it's almost time to go. It's been wonderful. Remember, we lost a wonderful hero, Miss Tyson. Say a prayer for her and her family. If you want to email me, please do so. I'm so excited about that. Have a safe week. Do everything you can to help somebody. Email me at askmamag.phd@gmail.com. Life is good. Our sponsors, you can read them. Custom embroidery. My hair is done by Douglas Unisex Salon. Mr. and Mrs. Claude Jones. And Nana Suzanne Original Gourmet Sauce. Thank you. I want to tell everybody, please have a safe week. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And do social distancing, please. I'll see you soon. Oh, and happy Valentine's Day. Love your spouse. Love your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Please show them you love them. And I'll see you soon. God bless. And have fun eating at Super Bowl.
World Tune Radio, where the world tunes in. The West Coast's premier podcast network.
Hi, this is Mama G. I have my PhD in parental household discipline. Whatever you have in your household, I probably raised it, taught it, loved it, spanked it, punished it, and definitely prayed over it.
The West Coast's premier podcast network.